Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Prince Andrew has now been stripped of his military titles and patronages. Now, this is a big deal, guys, and we got to give Steph the alternate major props because our British correspondent and expert has pretty much called this. Steph Adamus, bravo. She said this is what was going to happen. But there's a lot of subtlety here, as I talked to Steph before taping this, that really screams that this is a huge deal. Prince Andrew has now just been abandoned by the royal family, and they've just removed his entire royalty. He's no longer royalty in the eyes of the Queen, and that's a huge deal. Now, while she didn't just denounce it as publicly as maybe all of us wish she would have, this is her version of that. If you know the royals and know how they do it, and I asked Steph, I'm like, why can't she just come out of her way to say, why does she have to be so subtle? She's like, you just get used to that with the royals. But yes, let's read the royal communication and I'll break down what I was told. With the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen. Returned. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. Right there, that last bit, as a private citizen. That is a very telling, subtle, but very telling, and those in the royals know, they're like, the Queen is not okay. The Queen is not happy with what Prince Andrew is being accused of. Clearly, she's like, dude, you've embarrassed us of all the years to do it and everything else. I mean, what are you doing? They are clearly not okay with what's going on. And so while, part of me is frustrated to just be more obvious, that's just not how the royals or the Queen works. She's classier in that way. But don't take this seemingly subtle military title, thing as, is that? Yeah, it's a big deal. And so he's no longer His Royal Highness. This is a term he has used since birth. He will no longer be able to refer to himself as His Royal Highness. He is technically still a prince. He is technically the Duke of York. Those are still technically his titles. He didn't get everything removed, but there was a lot of pressure from the military to remove these titles. As we were going through this report, I saw there was it was like 150 or a lot of, here it is, 150 former members of the Royal Navy, British Army described their upset and anger at Andrew retaining the titles, saying his position was untenable. The letter said, please do not leave it any longer. Queen is head of the armed forces and honorary military appointments are her gift. And so he held a lot of military titles. And so she finally met with, it's very clear, and according to sources here, that, there was a lot of, here, where was I? I want to make sure I read this. They clearly all met. They clearly all met to make this decision. The Queen told Andrew in person on Thursday he would be stripped of his titles. He will not continue to partake in any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen, as we said. Move means he's no longer be able to call himself the Royal Highness, something he's used since birth. Move represents the Duke's complete removal from office, official royal life, and an attempt to distance the royal family from him, who's once second in line to the throne. The spare to the heir is what they call it. In the year of Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which I've learned is a really big deal. Royal source says the issue had been widely discussed with the royal family, making it likely that the Prince of Wales, as well as Andrew, was involved in crisis talks over the matter. Decision to remove his military titles and royal patronages must have been a difficult one for the Queen for a son who denies these allegations. Now, that's what's so telling about this, right? You got to have due process, but at a certain point, you got to see what's going on with this guy and everything else. And I'm sorry, dude, you're not. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. Too many. There's a lot out there, man, and you've been caught in so many lies. It's hard to keep track. From the not sweating to, that might not be my hand. The dude's caught and the dude's in trouble. And so it's encouraging to see the Queen finally do something. I do have to say, bravo, all hail the Queen in this regard for finally stepping up and doing something. And props to Steph, you called it. You did say not only would they remove the military titles first, but they'd start to they distract everybody with the more popular royals, which is what they're clearly going to start to do. And they've already even said they will be dispersing his roles will be given to other royal family members. So it's very clear that she called it. You were right, Steph. Bravo. But is this enough? Is this enough? I mean, I will say I'm pleasantly surprised and happy that she did something. And while I would have liked something a little less, subtle here, in speaking to other, speaking to the British and learning how this read to them, it's very clear. And as I've done my own homework, because I'm not a royal, I don't live that life or know much about it. He's been stripped of his royalty. That's what's happened here. They've completely abandoned him. He can no longer use that. He's no longer royalty. That's a major punishment. That is a huge deal. And finally, acknowledgement from the royal family that, now he is defending his case. It's her son after all. He'll be defending this case as a private citizen. So that to me screams they do not have faith in him. Because if they did, you'd think they'd be using the whole royal legal whatever they could do to help support her innocent son, right? I would think at this point the writing is on the wall and the queen is clearly aware of her son's mistakes here. I mean, I'm being generous. What an awful person. And what is she gonna do? She's in a tough spot. She's in a tough spot, and she's got so much history and all this the hierarchy of the royals and stuff, and what she's got to maintain while he's causing all this trouble. And the big question is, will he even follow through? Will he actually proceed with this civil case? Now, what's so disturbing about all of this is the fact that he doesn't have to do anything. Apparently, he can just be like, nope, not showing up, not giving you the testimony, don't care, good luck, come and get it. And then they will just force a settlement, and they'll declare you lose, fine, you didn't show up, you lose, and then they'll just say it, and then he'll be like, I'm not paying it, come get it. And then they got to go through like UK, US system to try and actually get it to be paid, which I'm told is not going to be easy. So does he want to actually show up to testify again and like do his what's that word called when you give your deposition? Does he want to get deposed and speak again? Because we all saw how well he spoke in that interview, which was a complete embarrassment for him and the entire royal family. Does he want to continue to flummox and sweat or not sweat and make more mistakes like that? Or just not show up to court and say, come get it. I'm not giving it to you. Good luck. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you updated. But regardless, yes, the queen just made a move. The queen just said, check. Let's see if the checkmate happens. Yeah, chess analogies. Woo, woo, woo. I guess I'm still under the weather, but starting to feel a little bit better. So thank you guys for bearing with me. Sorry we didn't do a live today. I just can't talk for too long. But lots more content here, man. This month is so brutal for creators. So help us out by hitting the like button. Smash that like button. Hit the comments. Just help us the best you can. Because, man, we're feeling it this month. So thanks to everybody who's still watching and trucking through. You guys are amazing. More news coming your way here on Popcorn Planet.